tough question for someone whose country has always vowed to remain neutral and not taken part in any military alliance. Probably to defend each other, I think. That would be like the main idea, and to stand together if the alliance decides to defend people somewhere outside of its own perimeters, that they should stand together and do it together. That's why they're allied.
So would you agree that the purpose of a military alliance would be to increase the security of the country that's participating in the military alliance? In other words, that they need to have an alliance, like say, I won't mention any names, small countries. Maybe they have an aggressive big country neighbor, and they need to get together and have an alliance so that they are strong enough to defend against a large threat, right?
Yes, that would definitely be a good reason for a small country to consider joining or to join a military alliance, yes.
So why does the United States need to have a military alliance with all these small countries? They don't provide anything for the defense of the United States.
I don't know. I mean, I know historically why the United States has felt that the security in Europe is in its interests. And the country has wanted to do its part. And even right now, I think that unrest in Europe is causing a lot of concern and worry, to say the least, here in the U.S.
But in terms of, I'm sorry.
Americans feel safer if Europe is also peaceful and safe.
Well, for example, the United States doesn't need to have an alliance with, I don't know, take your pick, Iraq or Kuwait or any small country, other than if they want to have an excuse to intervene when there's a war. In other words, it's just a way of having a reason to be the world policeman and to intervene. But from a security perspective, no country will attack America, right? Without any help from any big or small countries. Is the United States so powerful militarily that it really doesn't need any alliances with any of these other countries, big or small?
Well, no country will attack America, but I just spent last week at the Republican National Convention, and there the general consensus seemed to be that America is under attack all the time. It doesn't have to be a country that's attacking another country that's becoming old-fashioned. It's other kinds of groups that are attacking people, countries, their citizens nowadays, as we've just seen over the past few days.
Did ISIS invade America?
Well, I think the whole concept of invasion is changing so that it's really hard to tell who is invading whom. I mean, the way Russians invaded Ukraine, they didn't send their army marching there with their army insignia and marks and make it clear that, okay, we're invading. They sent these plainclothes green men who just made their way there. It's the whole game is changing.
So who's going to send the green men? The Canadians or the Mexicans?
It could be someone else.
ISIS doesn't have a navy or an air force. They're in an all-out war with Iraq and with Syria. They don't send any of their military people to America because it's not a priority. Which people have done terrorist attacks in America? Americans that don't like the foreign policy of the United States, which is to interfere in foreign wars and take sides. We're bombing ISIS over there, killing not only ISIS but civilians, and a lot of the Muslims, they don't like it. So some of them are a little bit wacky, crazy, and they say, well, maybe terrorism will change that policy. I don't think it's going to change the policy, but that's the reason why they do it. Every time a terrorist attacked America, they always said for the same reason, will you please get out of the Middle East and stop intervening with us in all the wars? From Bin Laden all the way down to ISIS, they all say the same. And these people that attack, all these terrorists, the U.S. citizens that do terrorist attacks, they always say so. They say, look, America has a bad foreign policy. Terrorism is always about that, right? It's about trying to change a political view, a political policy that the terrorist doesn't like. The Irish bombed London, right? Remember?
Jam, we're no longer green.
Okay, well, anyway.
Well, this was a fascinating lesson in American journalism. I have no idea why you just wanted to interview me about something I'm not an expert on and basically give your own opinions to the camera, but